Hey guys, sorry I missed you today. I do want to quickly kind of go over some information about today's lesson. You will still need to make sure that you complete it. And then on Monday, we're going to all join on WebEx, even if you're at school, for the day's lesson. So let's look at our unit. And then we are going to be in lesson 40. Today you have a bell ringer, and on this bell ringer you're just doing a quick poll. So you pick which of the following candies that you like the best, or you can click other if you don't see your option listed. And then after you do that, you're going to click here where it says public opinions and polls. Look through the information here. This is all information that is in your textbook. So if you want more detailed information, you can just look back at that. But I've taken out bits and pieces of the information that I'd hoped to kind of go back through with you. But real quick, we'll talk about it. So this is about public opinion and political information. And George Gallup, he developed the science of political polling, and that's why we generally call these polls Gallup polls. And so you can kind of look back through more of the history of that. At no point am I going to ask you why or how he developed this, but it is important to know his name because Gallup polls is a term that is used quite frequently when talking about government. So this one's talking about how polls are conducted. So it's important that you have a good sample size because you're not going to be able to get out and reach every single person in a population. Instead, you're going to have to get a smaller sample that represents the whole population. So the more random that sample is, the more accurate it generally is. And here are some examples of numbers that would be more of an accurate reflection of kind of a universal theme. So a sample of 1,000 to 1,500 people can represent the universe of potential voters. But remember that whenever there is a poll, there's always going to be that sampling error. So there's going to be, a few points up or a few points down, generally called a margin of error, that is showing that, these numbers are generally pretty close, but obviously there's a little wiggle room there that they may not be necessarily accurate. And then validity versus reliability. Validity is the extent to which the scores actually represent the variable that they are intended to, and reliability is consistency across time. So it's important that you know the difference between those two terms, because at any point you could be asked, what is the validity or what is the reliability? And you'll need to know the difference. Your textbook also mentions this idea of random digit dialing, and this allows for more of a random sample because it just dials, numbers at a random rate. But the problem is that as we've moved more towards cell phones and now we have caller ID, generally people are not answering the phone quite as frequently, and those who are usually going to represent an older portion of the population. Another issue is if they call during the workday, they may get one set of the population versus another. And so the internet has now become more widely used for conducting polls. It helps political candidates detect public preferences and keep in touch with people. It can lead to politicians following instead of leading, which that is a problem. Many times, depending on what the polls are saying, politicians might make adjustments based on that rather than leading and then seeing how that turns out. And that could be problematic because we are putting these people in place to lead, not to follow. So politics is always playing a role. Polling could create a bandwagon effect. So if people feel a certain way, that then they might also be like, well, yeah, I guess if everyone else is feeling that way, then I would too. So that could be a negative aspect of it. Polls can play to the media's interests. So usually the media is the one that's conducting these polls, and their questions are going to be based on information that's going to help themselves. Finally, exit polls. Public opinion surveys used by major media pollsters to predict electoral winners with speed and precision. And that precision is kind of where we run into some issues because People may not be completely honest about who they voted for when leaving the polling place. And also it could discourage people from wanting to vote if they feel like somebody's going to be waiting for them to tell them their answer. So that could be problematic as well. All right. And then finally, wording can be important. Pollsters can manipulate results by using different wording. So if they have like leading questions that force participants to choose one option or another and not giving that option of an out, then that's not really an accurate poll. Okay, so once you're done with steps 1 and 2, you'll continue to step 3. And here, you're going to click on this polling report site. Let's see if mine will load. On here, they have a lot of different topics. So you can pick foreign affairs, these other issues, things that are in the news. Whatever you pick is fine. I don't care one way or the other what topic you choose. On a piece of paper, you're going to need to draw this table. You need to write which topic you chose. And then you're going to find 3 polls dealing with that particular topic. So let's say that I'm going to pick, let's see, budget and taxes. All right, these are all different polls, okay? And you just need to pick 3 of them to analyze, okay? So this is one, and so I would write down, this would be the title, and I would put it here. Does the title of the poll appear to be biased? So then you would read it. Do you think that's biased or not? And you would say yes or no, and you need to explain. Does the title accurately reflect the polling topic? So again, you need to analyze what was the question, what was the data, explain your answer, who or what organization conducted the poll. So here it would be NPR or PBS NewsHour. So that's what you would put there. And does the source of the poll appear to be biased or have a motive? So again, you're going to have to analyze it and try to figure that out, but make sure you offer an explanation as well. So once you're done analyzing one poll, then you'll just move to the next one. You're not going back to pick a different topic. Same topic. You just scroll down to either the next poll following it, or you can continue to one that you find more interesting. Okay, so there's quite a few different polls here on that particular topic. So you're just going to pick a topic, look at 3 polls that are listed under that topic, and explain the answers that you came up with. Once you're done with that, you'll take a picture of it and you'll submit it here. And then finally, your last step for today is this assignment here. And so let's see if I can zoom in on it. It says that you are acting as a campaign manager for the incumbent governor of the state of Woodrow. You've got a lot of decisions to make. Recently, you ordered a favorability poll in each of Woodrow's 7 districts. Use the poll results in the chart below to answer the questions that follow. For this assignment, you're going to be using the information that we've learned about polling, along with the information we've learned about political ideology and what groups generally vote which way. And so you're going to look at the data, and as this campaign manager, you're going to have to try to make decisions that would best benefit the candidate that you're representing. So you'll go through and complete the questions in these text boxes you see here. And once you're done and you've completed step 4, you will submit. Make sure that your answers are complete sentences and that you answer all parts before you click submit. All of this should be done within the class period, and it probably won't take you very long at all to complete. If you have questions, if you will please email me. My email is mhillis@jeffcoed.com. And make sure that on Monday, everybody needs to be on WebEx if you're at home or you're in person for that class meeting. Okay? All right. Well, I will see you guys later.